Right, so starting off, we're going to have a look at the whole set in general. First off, we've got the 4 strips of underglows. We've got 2 long ones for the sides and then 2 short ones for the front and back. The law states you're not allowed to have one on the back, so I'm going to not use that one. The next part we got is the control box here. Now, this has, as usual, as any of electrics do, is a positive wire and a negative wire, which I'll get to that later. Next, that comes up and connects up to this doohingy here, which it allows a splitter to go into these 4 and then connects up to the underglows. So it's just one long circuit that eventually gets round. And the kit that I've got, which I'll put a link up somewhere, comes with extension cables, which is why I've chosen it. These they allowed you to extend it easily without any rewiring, as it's just a plug and play sort of thing. And then the positive and negative wire can also be extended as well with these. And then one more thing to note, unlike most kits, is that it has a nice easy fuse here, which actually comes with a replacement as well in case it goes, as I've had that one happen before on mate's one. And finally there's the remote. Simple enough as that it's on and off, all the different buttons there, different modes for it, smooth, fade, etc, etc. You can also have a music thing as well, which just reacts to vibrations and brightness. And yeah, next I'll get on to the showing you how it works. Right, so looking into the bonnet, we'll have a look at where the positive and negative nodes are in our 1.4. This is what, well, yeah, 1.4 TFSI. This is the same in the battery as well. In the back there'll be a positive and negative node. I'll show you that later. There's a positive, there's a negative. As you can see, I've already got wires wired up to it. And all you have to do is connect up the, touch the black wire on there and the red one at the same time to check if that will turn on. Just like, sorry, it's hard to do one-handed. There we go. So it'll do like a little sequence or startup sequence, but either way, you can see that the light works fine. There we are. So looking underneath the side of my car, you can see where I've put past underglows. I can see I've put some along here and put some along here. To be honest, it doesn't really matter where it goes, it's just where. It just depends on the brightness and all that. However, this time I'm going to try and put it along here. I'm going to give this a clean up because obviously that is still dirty as hell. And I'm going to be using this stuff as I've seen other people use it before when I was first looking up on these. And it is an adhesive as well that works on most things. So yeah, it should stick to plastic and metal as it does say, but yeah, it's also a sealant as well, which is nice because, you know, extra waterproofing is always good for that stuff. But as you can see, it's also got the 3M tape on it as well, but I never trust it, so I'm still going to be using this, and just in case. Next part is to line it up whereabouts you want it to go. Well, I normally do about central area, then peel off the tape, and then squirt some of this stuff on it. If you're using any of the Tiger Seal stuff, make sure you always wear the correct protection for it, because that last thing you want is it getting on your hands and ruining them or making an allergic reaction. But on to the next part. I've put it on there. It's stuck on pretty well after degreasing it and all, which is another thing you should do. I might have forgotten that. Yeah, just grab a bottle of that stuff, whack it on, clean it off, sorted. Yeah, whilst it's on there, it holds on pretty well. This has only been on for like 5 minutes, so best leave it like half hour, if not a full day if you can. Let it fully dry. But yeah, it seems to have hooked on pretty well. I have left enough room so on either side I can drill a hole and put zip ties around it, which best to put it around where these orange parts are, because that's just where you can colour it as well. But yeah, I'll show you that at the end. And yeah, wires hanging out, which will eventually go along there, but this can be disconnected if need to. With like, I won't have this on all the time just in case wires snap or anything. But yeah, that's one done, 3 to go. So back to the electrics. So this process is called crimping when you do all that stuff. I'll explain it more after this, but simple enough. You have to get these nodes off, which is what attaches the wires or holds the wires down. And for mine, it's a 17mm spanner. Literally all it is probably easier to do it on that one. It's literally just done. Probably might be hard if it's never been touched before, but just undo it like that, and it's basically a bolt. There we go. So all it is a bolt coming out of there. That will be the exact same, and all that crimp part there is just a yellow ring. Just so as long as it fits on like that, then that's fine. And then yeah, that just screws back on, holds it in place, and boom, done. The next part is what's called crimping. First of all, if you need what's called a crimper, or as far as I'm aware it's called a crimper. I've got a ratchet one, that's a normal handheld one, and all it is open that, and it's got the 3 colours on it, red, blue and yellow, which correspond to the different crimpers, or the whatever these connectors are called. And yeah, simple enough. You put the wire inside there, so it's the little hole that goes all the way through. Essentially, you just got to make sure the metals are touching, which carries on through the circuit. Then put the yellow thing inside that, and then clamp down on the metal part. Now it's going to be hard for me to show you whilst videoing because I can only do it one-handed. Well, I'll find a way. So as you can see, I've stripped it back a little bit. Can't see without it focusing, but next part's putting it. So that's correlated the yellow with the yellow. Then, like so. Shit. Like so. Oh. Clamp it in. So ideally, you don't really want to have much metal sticking out on the other side. You kind of want to hide it as much as possible. But as the metal's touching, it should continue the circuit. And yeah, that's one done. I'll do the other one. So wire stripped. It's been crimped as it's been shown. As I said before, all you got to do is whack it on there, grab that, and then screw it on. Boom, you got power going into that one. Repeat the same for the electric one, and then yeah, that's it. Yeah, there's power. This is the wiring part of it. If you did buy an Underglow set that hasn't got these detachable parts in it, like I bought, then it's going to be a lot harder because it means you have to feed through all the Underglows, all the wires, and then attach them and do all this afterwards, which does become a bit of a hassle, as I have done that before. But either way, following what I've done, I have connected the first one up through, there's a gap underneath there, and the first extension cable's gone down. Well, actually, that one didn't have an extension cable, but as you can see, it is fed through that little hole there, which is just at the bottom of the engine bay, and then I've just gone down, grabbed it, and pulled it back up. And as you can see, it is working nice and pretty. And I shall go on to doing the side ones, which I normally chuck down an extension cable down there, so it just comes by the wheel arch area, and then it's a small easy connection from there. But the other side is a bit more tricky, as it's got to go further and past the exhaust. So I think on the last one I brought it along here, just at the bottom of the engine tray, so it just stays away from the hot exhaust. So yeah, I will do that and show it next. So as I said, I have connected it through down there. See if I can get a picture of it. There you go. That's the wire going through down there. It's not really touching anything that is going to be moving. The only thing to be worried about is if the wire is really tight, like if say if you're pulling out on it really hard, and you know, if it's connected up that way, then when you go over speed bumps, go over potholes, it's really gonna just snap. That happened on my third set of Underglows. But what I've done this time is I found a little nook underneath this part of the trim here, and I've just hid it in there and just glued it up with that tiger seal. And the connector part is there, which means I can take that part off if needs be. And yep, that's that one up and going. And on the other side, this one was a bit more tricky as it is further away, but there you go, up and running. Done the same thing, the little nook that's in there. But the other thing I did here is I've kind of weaved it around the frame here, weaved it underneath there, and then it just because this part here is just the tray of the engine, I've kind of just put it on the bottom of that, brought it up to where the front hole is, just because it's literally nothing there. And yeah, I've connected it up in the same place. But there you go. But yeah, all connected up to 2 down there. Got to remind myself now. And that's the third one there. And as I said before, I've only done the 3 because by law you can only have the 2 on the sides and 1 on the front, and you can only use them. Well, you can't use red, green, or blue just because it's the simulating of a cop. But just a quick test on the remote, and that'll be it. So there we go. Always make sure to do a test just to make sure all the colours are there working. Now some what do you call it? Some underglows have operated by phone, or mainly they're operated by remote. I've used both of them before. I've used 2 sets of both, so I've had remote ones and phone ones. There is 1 set of remote ones which are awful, where like the remote, you can't just, you know, turn it away and just do that stuff and make it work like that. You know, this has got a 10-meter radius compared to the other stuff. But the one I had before was where it literally had to be pointing at it. It had a receiver on the box, and it had to be pointing at it. So that one was a pass for me. If you look on the box on Amazon, it'll have a dongle on it. But phone ones work really well. You know, you can sit in your car and you can have full control over it. But other than that, fuse box is there, easy to access. Other than that, yeah, it's done.